I bet that this podcast will have less than 20 listeners.
I'm going to bet the over on that.
Yeah?
Because I'm going to social media the crap out of this podcast just to prove you wrong. And we're going to get 20 listeners. We're going to get over 20 listeners.
Woo!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Off the Chest of Timothy Regal. I am your host, the man who still loves Nickelback and is not afraid to admit it, Mr. Timothy Regal.
Wow.
And of course, joining by me, the 7-star mind, Alex McCarthy.
Thumbs up.
Alex?
Thumbs down. Episode 129.
129?
129.
Alrighty.
Do you think we'll get to 619?
I hope so.
Yeah?
We can hope.
Dang.
That's a lot of episodes.
That is.
Alex, you, how are you feeling?
Fine.
It's been a busy weekend. You had a little fun last night.
What? I've never had fun in my life.
I mean, I believe that, but...
Why you gotta drink my Pepsi?
Drink my Dr. Pepper.
Hi, Margaret.
If you see me at a show, buy me a Pepsi.
There's a grocery store right down the street, you baby.
That's a pain in the ass to get in and out of right now.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it's the final day of the fair.
Final day of the fair. We're gonna see Brad Paisley tonight.
But, you can possibly hear maybe a little bit of Nickelback from last night on the, upcoming episodes of Booze, Brawls, and Brave.
How do you know?
Because, we should, well, not this week. This week is part 2 of the Corn Boy. You might hear me a little bit in the background. But, a week from, Monday, or next Monday, by the time you're going to hear this.
This coming Monday, by the time
This coming Monday, I make my official Booze, Brawls, and Brave debut.
God bless America.
I substituted excellently for crotch.
I wouldn't go that far. I mean, at least you weren't whining about it. That was the draft episode with the least amount of whining we've ever had.
And I'm totally going to win, so...
You think so? I don't think you are. I think I won.
We draft the greatest Summerslam matches of all time, and I totally think I won. But,
speaking of fantasy drafting and booking, it's finally time for the year I was born, 1989, Pipe Dream Championship Wrestling, next week.
I was going to say, did you finish it? Because I didn't.
No. Can we do it next week?
I
doubt it.
We can try.
I don't think we will. I've got mini camp this week, and we're going to Omaha this weekend.
I'm pretty much working nonstop, and I'm already 2 days behind on G1 shows, and
yeah,
so it's probably not going to be next week. I've got an SCW Pro show this Friday at the Beer Stube,
and this Saturday at the Durant Fire Festival.
Unfortunately, Alex will not be joining us at the Beer Stube.
I'll be in Omaha,
which is probably good because Alex did enough drinking last night to cover the next 3 months.
I did not. God, you act like I was rowdy.
Margaret?
Was I rowdy?
What?
Was Alex rowdy, as he likes to say last night?
Not the worst I've seen.
See?
I mean, you weren't Waterloo drunk, but...
God, that was a time.
Alex Waterloo drunk is great.
You-
That's when I get drunk FaceTime calls.
Yeah, you weren't. Yeah, Alex wasn't Waterloo Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame drunk. That's
That's a
but
special kind of drunk.
you, me, Merrick Brave, Sean Morrow, and some other guests. We had a lot of fun doing some podcasts and listening to some Nickelback.
I got so excited, I forgot that Nickelback played the theme to Monday Night Raw for a while. And so I come
We're
running.
going out tonight.
Yeah.
To kick down every light.
Is that what that says?
I think that's the lyric. I'm not 100% sure.
I always thought it was, we're going out tonight. Yeah, but actually what I thought it was doesn't make any sense. So what you said actually makes sense.
Yeah.
But I came running into the house because you had come in to watch a little Triple A Mania, which I really wanted to watch Triple A Mania, but I was having more fun outside.
I was watching a little Triple A.
Triple A.
I actually mainly came in for 2 matches. The women's TLC match, which was a absolute clusterfuck, as I expected.
Dude, we have crazy ass matches in the U.S., especially on the indie scene. I feel like crazy-ass lucha matches are just like a whole nother level of crazy.
And then I, of course, wanted to see the 6-man tag with Tejano, Tejano Torres, and, God, I can't remember who the third guy was, versus Psycho Clown, Cody Rhodes, and former UFC champion Cain Velasquez. Dude, Cain Velasquez was amazing.
Was he?
Oh, dude, he's doing lucha flips and everything.
Man.
You can tell this is something. He's gone on record in interviews. He was interviewed on ESPN, and he said, "This isn't a one-off. I've been a lucha libre fan my entire life. I've always wanted to do this, and the opportunity came up, and I intend."
Is he retired from MMA?
Not completely.
Okay.
So no, he's gonna basically try to be the Mexican Brock Lesnar.
Wow. Good for him.
Yeah. But no, I didn't get a chance to see the main event. We were running that show went really late. I mean, it's their version of WrestleMania. It went really long.
Yeah.
I did get to see Scarlett Bordeaux.
Yes.
Woo. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
But no, I thought what I saw looked like a fun show, man. Triple Mania, Triple A. You're never gonna see a better crowd for a wrestling show.
No.
Than that crowd that comes to Triple Mania for Lucha Libre. Like I said, I'll probably go back at some. I may go back. I'm gonna say I may.
Watch them on demand on Twitch.
I think you can. There's always other places I can find that stuff.
I think they end up on YouTube.
Yeah,
usually,
they do. Yeah. I think put the shows up on YouTube eventually. I may not have time to go back and watch the entire show. But it was, from what I saw,
I figured if I tried to watch more of it, I would either end up fast forwarding a lot or just like doing other things while I was watching.
Yeah. Alex, I mentioned we did the greatest SummerSlam draft.
Yeah.
Because this Sunday,
I cannot believe it's this Sunday. I swear to God, I thought it was at least the second or third, like the last or second to last Sunday.
See, SummerSlam, for whatever reason, the last few years, they moved it up to early August. And it's the one time they actually do a pay-per-view. It's one of the few months they do a pay-per-view early in the month. It's kind of odd. But,
see, and that's funny because I feel like I would have noticed something like that because I could have been like, oh, I could actually go. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't miss work if I decided to, like, book a plane.
Yeah, so,
But this year, you'd have to get your fucking passport.
Alex, I'm gonna ask you. Do you know 3 matches that are on SummerSlam this year?
I think I do.
Okay. Give me 3 matches.
Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar.
That's one.
For the Universal Championship. Becky Lynch and Natalya.
That is 2.
For the Women's Championship. Is it Kofi Kingston and Randy Orton?
That would be 3.
Hey! Send your congratulatory tweets to @OneRealSmartAlex.
So, okay. So I'm gonna...
But honestly, shit you not, if you had asked me 4, I couldn't have done 4.
We'll do a quick... I'll run these down real quick for you. I'm gonna start at the bottom. We have a match that I'm looking forward to. This is gonna be interesting to watch. Charlotte Flair is gonna take on Timothy Regal's favorite WWE diva of all time.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
The Canadian Goddess.
Oh, it's time to rock and roll.
Miss Trish Stratus.
It's time we'll take a toll.
In 2019, thanks to yoga and personal fitness and everything else she does, still is in the exact same shape she was.
I think she's in better shape now.
She may be in better shape. Still looks as literally as Roll Tide gets. And I'm very interested. This is your...
It's a dream match.
A little bit of a nostalgia pop, a little bit of a dream match, but you have a lady that can still obviously go. The lady that, I mean, before the before the women's evolution and all that, I mean, you had 2 women in that company that could go. You had Trish and Lita. And
Trish couldn't even go when she signed.
Yeah, and Trish will openly admit she had to learn on the job and then became regarded as one of the best female wrestlers of all time. Then we have a match. It's listed here, The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler. Now, recently news has broke. This match is going to be changed probably this week. The rumor is that somehow they're going to slide The Miz out. And the match for SummerSlam, the rumor as of right now, is Dolph Ziggler versus Bill Goldberg.
Okay, see, I don't know that I buy that because I'd also heard that for a while it was going to be Dolph Ziggler versus Shawn Michaels.
Obviously, they want to get they want the, and we can this. I'm not going to go too far into that because into the weeds on this because it's a whole podcast. The fact that WWE is relying on these nostalgia names to pop the rating.
Oh, it's all
because they saw what a huge pop in the rating they got for the Raw reunion.
Here's an idea. Allow your talent to get over.
Well,
but like that's fucking common sense, isn't it?
I mean that is. Next up for the U.S. Championship, the champion AJ Styles defending against the former champion Ricochet. These guys have had great matches.
I'm sure.
If they get out of their own way, and I'm worried they're going to have too much club interference, but if they get out of their own way and just let these two go, it could be 5 stars. Finn Balor versus the Fiend, Bray Wyatt.
Oh.
I've enjoyed the build to this. I think what they did with Mick Foley and Bray Wyatt at the Raw reunion was the absolute best way to get him over.
I literally know nothing that happened at the Raw reunion.
They had Mick in the ring cutting a promo, then the lights went out and the Fiend actually put the mandible claw on Mick Foley.
Okay.
So, and of course, it's been well known Finn's going to get married. He's going to take some time off. So,
who's he getting married to?
He is marrying I believe she is a Venezuelan news personality. She is an absolute 10. She's gorgeous. I cannot remember.
Okay, am I crazy or was he dating Kathy Kelly for a while?
I don't think that was a thing. The girl, maybe possibly because I think the girl he dates kind of looks like her, but that might be. Then we have a match. Kevin Owens, if he loses, will quit the WWE against the best in the world, Shane McMahon. Can he lose and quit the WWE for real and then go to a place that will, actually, let him wrestle?
Ring of Honor.
Not quite. I'm worried in a year and a half, Ring of Honor ain't gonna have enough wrestlers to run a show.
It's gonna be. Never mind.
It's gonna be Matt Taven, Vinny Marseglia, and TK O'Ryan in a 4-hour long triple threat match. That,
oh God.
Oh, and now because they'll still have Bully Ray. He'll be telling people to be a fan. So.
Be a fan, Hulk.
Did
you see the preview video for the new
2K?
Yeah.
Yes, it is amazing. Absolutely perfect. Looks like Becky Lynch and Roman Reigns are sharing the cover, which I'm okay with that.
It makes sense.
Becky, as long as it had Becky, because there's nobody in the business, on that roster that deserves the 2K cover this year more than Becky Lynch.
Sure.
And can I say at least it wasn't Becky and Seth Rollins? Oh God. Then we have the aforementioned Kofi Kingston versus Mr. Excitement Randy Orton.
Randy Orton.
Randy probably took a crap in somebody's bag.
I've said this on the pod many times, but Randy Orton is just a no-go for me because when he's a heel, I like his promo and character work, and I hate his matches. And when he's a babyface, I love his matches, but I hate his promos and character work.
Randy Orton has bored me for at least the last 9 years. The most entertaining thing that Randy Orton ever did in his career was the Randy News Network.
I was going to bring that up, the RNN.
Yes, the RNN. Those vignettes were amazing. That was the only time that Randy Orton showed a hint of charisma, in my opinion. But can we call Kofi's title run a failure at this point?
I don't know. I don't watch it. I don't watch Raw.
I mean,
SmackDown.
I don't watch the shows, but I do keep up.
Why? Because you hate it.
I mean,
it makes you angry.
I listen to review. I listen to Way or I listen to Wade. I listen to them to talk about the shows. So I do keep up with the product as much as, and I might watch a match here and there if it's good. If I hear that it's good.
Yeah.
Then we have Bayley versus Ember Moon. I have zero.
Really?
Yeah, I have
the heel. Baby.
I think it's Baby. Or maybe Ember turned heel. This literally, I have no clue what the build on it was, so I don't know.
That should be at least a good match.
Becky Lynch versus Natalya. Natalya is going to get...
They have 3 women's matches on the card?
Yes, they do.
Holy shit.
Becky versus Natalya. This is obviously... It is in Toronto.
Yeah.
So Natty's...
expecting Natty to get a... Why would they do that?
Natty's going to get the huge pop.
Why would they put her against Becky when they're struggling to make stars anyway? So
she's not going to win.
They're gonna put their top babyface, one of their only actually over babyfaces on their roster, who they've been desperately trying to bury by putting her in an awful program with Lacey Evans, and now they're gonna put her against someone who's gonna out-pop her as a babyface because she's gonna get the hometown reaction. That's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
See, no, this is why. This is bullshit. Why are we talking about SummerSlam? Why are we fucking talking about SummerSlam? Because I watched a bunch of wrestling that I enjoyed this weekend. I loved SCI.
Well,
but this is the point. We are literally falling into the stereotype of heterosexual white men complaining about WWE on a podcast. That's literally what we fucking are. So instead of talking about the wrestling we enjoyed and putting over the shit that we like and giving attention to the guys who are busting their asses and killing it, you just want to sit here and bitch about WWE. You gotta why can't we flip our fucking mindset? Why are we pissing ourselves off? This is fucking dumb. Christ.
Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins.
Who cares?
I hope Seth wins. It's probably not going to happen. Can we talk about TakeOver? I am excited for that.
There's a TakeOver?
Yes, there's a TakeOver Saturday night. Have you been that far out of the loop?
Yes.
Okay. Now you do like takeovers. Correct.
Generally speaking, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to give you the matches for TakeOver. Can you name one match on TakeOver?
No. Velveteen Dream versus Roderick Strong.
There's a third guy in it, but you're close.
Matt Riddle.
Pete Dunne.
Matt Ritter.
Matt Riddle actually not on this TakeOver card.
Oh, okay.
Kind of shocking. No. So, and the shock, here's the biggest, again, you talk about number of women's matches. There are 2 women's matches on this show. We have Candice LeRae versus Io Shirai. I love black leather heel era Io, so,
Black leather pro.
Black leather heel Io, not black leather pro.
That'd be a good promotion.
That might confuse some people. Some people might think Black Leather Pro might be something else besides a wrestling show.
Well, you know.
Then we have the women's title match: Shayna Baszler versus Mia Yim. I ask this every takeover: is this where Shayna drops the title because she's getting called up?
No, I don't think so. Not to Mia.
I don't think so either. Then
I have a feeling Shayna's gonna stay in NXT until Ronda comes back.
That's not a bad idea. Velveteen Dream versus Pete Dunne versus Roderick Strong.
That'll be a good match.
That's probably going to be the best
really
match of the night.
I don't care about Roderick Strong, but
I think it'll be a good triple threat. I think they'll absolutely with those 3 guys and the athleticism and what they can do. I think they're going to kill it. Street Profits versus Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish.
That'll be good.
I'm honestly thinking, is this the night where we go, and we'll get to the main event, is this the night where we go off the air with the Undisputed Era holding all the titles? Because I think we've been building to that moment.
Possibly.
And your main event...
Or is it the moment where everybody but Cole wins the title, and then he gets called up on his own?
Or that causes him to go insane.
Or turn babyface.
Because your main event is the 2 out of 3 falls... NXT Championship, Adam Cole versus Johnny Gargano. Stipulation being the first. Each guy picks a stipulation. The first stip was chosen by Gargano. The first fall will be a street fight. Adam Cole chose a regular wrestling match for the second fall, and I will make a pretty much a lock of a prop bet prediction that that second fall will end with an Undisputed Era run in. And then William Regal gets to select the third fall, and he hasn't said what that third fall is going to be. And I am guessing that William Regal comes out after interference from the Undisputed Era and drops a steel cage around the ring for the third fall. Now, whether Johnny gets the belt back or whether Cole retains, that remains to be seen. I honestly think I'm going to make my bold prediction. This is the night that the Undisputed Era holds all the titles. I think that's the optic we're going off the air with. So that's something to watch. That's going to be a good show.
And that's on Saturday night?
That is on Saturday night. That is going to be a good show. I'm looking forward to taking
Sorry
over.
for eating in front of you.
That's fine. But no. But yeah, we should, before we get into, the weekend.
Yeah.
We do got to talk about the sad thing, I think, that happened.
Oh, yeah.
Was Wednesday, correct?
That seems right, yeah.
Wednesday afternoon, the legendary former NWA World Heavyweight Champion Harley Race did pass away at the age of 83. Multi-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion, a guy who, basically was the biggest wrestler in America in the 70s and, from about the late 60s until through the 70s. He, held the NWA World title multiple times. Obviously, is a guy that helped make Ric Flair. Ric Flair won his first 2 world titles from Harley Race. A lot of people, even my age, and this is to say how, where Harley is at. People my age, a lot of times don't even remember that NWA run. We know him from his run in the WWF, managed by Bobby Heenan, where he was he was in the twilight of his career at that point.
Yeah.
And the thing with Harley is one of those guys that I like Arn Anderson. The guy was born looking like he was 45 years old.
Yeah.
Harley was a throwback professional wrestler. That's what a pro wrestler in the 70s, when you think of a guy like that, when you think of pro wrestlers, what they look like in the 70s, you think of guys like Harley Race, you think of guys like the Crusher and Dick the Bruiser, just big, stocky, they didn't have six-packs, but they had gigantic arms and barrel chests, and you didn't fuck with them.
No.
Harley Race is a guy that, even in his 70s, I don't think I would have tried.
No.
I
don't think I would have tried Harley on Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. I will. I had the great pleasure of working on a show here locally back in, I want to say, 2013, maybe 2013, maybe 2014. I can't remember the exact time. In the fall of one of those years, that brought in Harley for a guest appearance. We had Harley, we had Leland Race, a couple of guys from WLW were on the show, and Harley came to sign autographs and take pictures, and he spoke to the fans. A very nice gentleman, a class act the whole way. Actually sat at the table and watched all of the matches, very intently. He was very interested to see, what kind of stuff what the guys would have. Watch Shane Hollister and Matt Cage and Knight Wagner, Crotch. Everybody.
Did he give him feedback?
I think a little bit he did. But I know a lot of the guys were very excited to get to work in front of Harley.
Sure.
I know.
I'd be nervous as shit.
I know he offered training camps to. I know he offered to Nevin Knoxville.
Yeah.
A couple other people that he really liked. So he did watch the matches pretty intently. I will tell you, when I shook his hand when he got to the building, when his hand literally encompasses your hand, and you know that he's holding your hand.
Yeah.
He's still pretty he was still pretty intimidating even at that point. But no, you can go back on the WWE Network. There's matches between like him and Dusty Rhodes. You can find him and Ric Flair. You can find. I think there's some stuff. I know there's some stuff in the old school section where where they actually would have the NWA champion in the 70s come to Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
I think he took on Bob Backlund in a match. And I mean, by today's standards, a lot of people would probably look at these matches and say, well, there's not much there, but different time, different era.
Sure.
And but one of the things about Harley, and this is where I'll tell you, if you want to see some really good stuff with Harley, either the Mid-Atlantic section on the WWE Network, or if you go all the way to the start of the World Championship Wrestling section,
Yeah.
where he appeared in some of those episodes in like '85 on TBS, and just cuts amazing promos. The guy could cut a great promo, and he was your classic NWA World Heavyweight Champion as a heel. He would travel the country as the NWA World Champion. They'd bring him into the territory. He'd, go around the loop with whatever big baby face you built up for him, and he'd go over, but he'd make that baby face look like $1 million every single night.
This is what I think. This is okay. So, what I want to say about Harley is, you guys, some of our younger viewers, I don't think we are. Oh my God, there's so much wrong with what I just said. Some of our younger listeners, and I don't think we have a lot of young listeners, but if we have a couple, think about, like, if you say 8-time world champion today, that doesn't sound like a lot in terms of, like, a great, you know what I mean? Because you say something about Randy Orton's had it 12 times, and Triple H has had it 13 times, and John Cena's had it 16 times, and Mick Foley had it 5 times, but, like, to be 8-time NWA champion in the 70s and early 80s, that fucking meant something. That wasn't one booker making the decision. That was the entire championship committee voting on who was going to be the champion and who got a shot and who they were going to put their stock in. And it had to be someone who could go to every territory and deliver. It fucking meant something to be voted NWA champion once. To be able to be trusted and held to that regard to be the NW... I mean, even Dusty Rhodes, who's one of the greatest of all time, was only NWA champion 3 times. To hold it more than once, to hold it 8 times in that era, that's fucking insane.
Yeah.
And it's a testament to how good Harley was.
And you have to look at it from this history of, in that era, when Harley would drop the title, a lot of times he'd drop it for a month or whatever. I think Tommy Rich had, a 18-day reign. Basically, like, around the loop around whatever territory he was in.
Yeah.
And then he'd win it back. I mean, Harley he personified that title until they really, really made the tradition, until they made the transition, I should say, to Ric Flair. But I mean, and the other thing that I think you need to talk about with Harley is the training and the work he did with WLW Wrestling.
Yeah,
that trained guys like Silas Young, that trained
Curtis Axel.
I know not his original trainer, but my good friend Keith Walker, who went there and then got through WLW connections, got over to Pro Wrestling Noah.
Wow.
Obviously, the man we recently had at SCW Pro, Ace Steel.
Yep.
Is personified with WLW. Yes,
I believe, is Ace the trainer at WLW now?
Yes, he is.
Okay, that's what I thought.
There's so many guys that came through that WLW system.
And even a friend of the pod, 3XW referee, Jeremy Robb, trained at WLW, was trained by Harley Race and recognizes Harley as his trainer, as a referee.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that?
I did hear that, yes.
Yeah.
But no, there's so many people that got trained by Harley, that Harley's lasting impact to the business, I think, there's so much. And obviously, you hate to see anyone go, but Harley had struggled for a few years, and I believe he's at peace now. So
Yeah.
we wish him well and thank him for everything he gave to the pro wrestling business.
Without question.
Now we can talk about stuff that Alex wants to talk about.
I mean, I want to talk about Harley.
I mean, we did.
My point is, I just don't want to fall into the stereotype of being fucking angry straight white dudes yell at clouds. There's enough good stuff out there that we can talk about what we love instead of burying what we hate. And we loved the fucking Tennessee Takeover this weekend on independentwrestling.tv at iwtv.live. Was free all weekend. I know one of my great friends, SCW Pro Senior Official John G, watched the SCI Futures tournament. Friend of the podcast, Matthew Hollinger, was at SCI this weekend. Was down in Tennessee, down in Chattanooga at the Best Western. Boy, I gotta go. I think we gotta go next year.
The as they call it, the SCI prom, the after party after night one of the Scenic City Invitational has kind of become the stuff of legend. And some of the videos I saw that included Marco stunt dancing on tables. It looked like our buddy Steve Manders was having a good old time.
Yeah, I must be following the wrong people because I didn't see any videos.
Nah, I saw some videos. But
I saw some tweets and some pictures.
Yeah, looked like the Corn Belt Cowboy was having a good time this weekend.
Yeah.
Of course, he actually Corn Belt Cowboy wrestled on CRUX.
Yep.
Thursday night, which was I watched that show. It was a fun show.
I went back and watched Steve's match. I think
really raucous crowd. Manders had a really fun 4-way match.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say Steve. One called.
The one called Manders. He had a really fun 4-way match on that CRUX Wrestling show. Awesome. If you're into the hardcore stuff, there's an awesome Fans Bring the Weapons match as the main event. Then we watched night one of the SCI. Night one of the SCI. I do want to shout out Daniel McCarthy versus Tony Deppen.
Oh, great match!
Amazing match.
Technical wrestling.
Yeah, and Tony Deppen is just crazy.
Who's McCarthy trained by?
I am not sure because he came out of Seattle, so a lot of there's not a lot of wrestlers come out of that area, but
yeah.
That's a place that is growing, I think, right now. That's an area with some growth. There's
is that 3-2-1 battle?
I know he's one of the main guys behind 3-2-1 battle.
Because does B-Boy live over there now?
I think so. Yeah. There's 3-2-1 battle. There's Defy Wrestling in Seattle.
Yeah.
So there is some wrestling coming out of Seattle, coming out of that Pacific Northwest area again.
Yeah.
Anybody running in Portland? Somebody call Don Owen.
Oh well, his page on apparently 16 years of in-ring experience.
Yeah.
Debuted in 2003, but it does not list his trainer.
So Daniel McCarthy is an interesting case of he's a guy who debuted back in the early 2000s. Took a few years off, kind of reinvented himself, came back with a whole different look. He's got a very unique look. Some people may not like it. Wrestles in a soccer jersey usually, which kind of threw me at first, but the guy's an amazing technical wrestler. If you're into the European style, great wrestler. And then, like I said, night one took on Tony Deppen, who came out of the Chikara system, but is really still wrestles for Chikara, but he's definitely taking it to the next level outside of Chikara. Game changer wrestling, just all over the place right now. And he's a guy that I think in 2020 you're going to see really start to...
I think he's going to be a top independent guy.
Yeah. But obviously you had last year's Futures champion, Marco Stunt in the tournament.
Yep.
We had AC Mack.
One of the guys I really fell in love with this weekend.
Yeah, you hadn't seen a lot of AC Mack. I'd seen a little bit. This guy is a amazing Southern wrestling heel.
Yeah.
Gets so much heat there. He is the champion of Action Wrestling, which we'll get to the Futures tournament here in a minute.
Yes.
But No, AC Mack's a guy that just gets amazing heat. Then main event, Joey Lynch took on Anthony Henry?
Yeah.
Yeah. Joey Lynch took on Anthony Henry in the main event of night one, went to a 20-minute time limit draw, and then the show ends with a massive schmoz as Joey's brother, Matt, gets in the ring. And then Anthony Henry is joined by J.D. Drake, and the Workhorsemen attack the Lynch mob.
Yeah, craziness.
Yeah, the Workhorsemen go grab the headsets from the commentary team.
Because they can't get a working mic.
Yeah, old school Southern. I love old school Southern Memphis type stuff like that. Yeah. I shouldn't say that because I'm afraid that eventually somebody's going to do that to us.
Yeah.
And let's face it.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of room behind that table, and I can't move all that fast.
Right. You'd be dead.
I might die. Let's just hope Mason Beck never gets that idea.
Thankfully, I don't think he likes to talk that much.
No, thankfully. And keep those damn infamy guys away.
That's what I'd be worried about.
Yeah.
They do like to run their mouths.
Yeah.
Well, with the exception of the iceberg.
Yeah. But no, night one was a lot of fun, and then obviously you got to watch the Futures tournament. I have not.
It was pretty sick.
As I had to work the shoot job, but I guess we should just start out by saying it. Congratulations.
Hold on, slow down. We can talk about it.
You have it. So.
I have it.
Obviously, well, one of the things we should say: the Black and Brave Wrestling Academy.
Can you slow down? So the opening match saw James Bandy, Kevin Giza, and Benjamin Carter in a triple threat match. And I think I'd never seen or heard of James Bandy. And I think I had heard of Kevin Giza, but I'm not sure I've ever seen him. Silence your goddamn phone, Regal. And really great match. I was thinking, it'd be cool if Ben won, but I don't know how big he is down there. You know, I don't know if he'll pick up the victory. But he does. Picks up the victory. One thing I'll say about the Futures Tournament and just SCI in general, and this might sound like a weird thing, a lot of short matches. And I liked it. With the exception, and maybe this is because they did the 20-minute time limit draw in night one of SCI, but I did not feel like any of the matches were too long. You know what? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, because sometimes when you have these indie shows and they're streaming, you just get a bunch of long matches. And I don't know how much some of these guys, don't know how to have a good short match. They're like, I need more time to have a good match. You didn't give me enough time. But there is an art to having a really good short match. And I was not excited about watching the Futures Tournament. Well, I wasn't, because there was a lot of guys on there I liked. But I was like, 4 fucking triple threats? Are you kidding me? And you know how I feel about triple threats. I'm not a big fan, especially of cold triple threats. I feel like if there's a really established story, they can be good. But in general, I don't like. Hey, we got 2 guys. Oh nope, we got 3 guys. Okay, triple threat match. I in general don't like triple threats. I think they're usually kind of bad. 3 really good short triple threats. Benjamin Carter picking up the win. Then the next match, probably, and some people are calling it the match of the weekend, and I don't necessarily disagree. One called Manders, Gnarls Garvin, Big Beef Gnarls Garvin, and Zachary Cooper. I've seen Gnarls Garvin a couple times. I've been on a few shows with him. Zachary Cooper I was not familiar with at all. And I kind of know that one called Manders guy. Might have called his first match. Might have called several matches of his career. Might have almost kind of managed him a couple times. But yeah, Manders and I, no strangers to each other. He probably slept on this couch a few times.
Yeah.
But anyway, seeing the one called Manders get in there and just have a fucking hoss battle. And just go out there and kill it and perform. And just have that star-making experience in that first round match. Obviously I'm fucking biased because he's one of my best friends in wrestling. But Manders picked up the win, and I'm so fucking proud of him in that first round match. Then we had 3 guys that I was not familiar with at all. Bobby Flacco defeated Damian Tangara and Luther X. Fun match. Again, not really familiar with any of these guys. I could tell, though, as soon as Bobby Flacco walked out, I was like, he looks like white A.R. Fox. And then they're like, graduate of the WW4 Training Academy. I was like, oh, yep, he trained with A.R. Fox.
Yeah.
And Luther X, have you seen a lot of his work?
I saw him for the first time on the CRUX show.
I love the gimmick.
Yeah, I like the gimmick. Like his look. Bigger kid, stockier built. I like the cut. And I'm impressed by what I've seen. Obviously, I have not watched the Futures tournament. I'm gonna get back and watch that sometime, probably within the next couple days.
Anyways, so Bobby Flacco picked up the win in that match.
I have seen Bobby Flacco a few times before. I like him a lot too.
Yeah. And then after that, Violence is Forever defeated IFHY, which is Jonathan Wolf and Sean Kemp. Good match. I'm just not there yet on IFHY. I'm very familiar with them, and I know they've been around for a while. I know a lot of our guys have been on shows with them, a lot of our friends, and they were fine, but I thought they looked a little out of place to be at this level of a show, to be perfectly honest. It was a fine match, and apparently somebody said that they were on the Futures show last year and that they had improved night and day from the Futures show last year, so that kind of had me being like, oh, well, okay, cool, hopefully they continue to, and that's great, if you improve from one year to the next, hopefully you continue to improve, and obviously that means that they're working hard, but I just thought that they were a little out of place to be at that level, and that's just my fucking opinion, and if you get upset about my opinion, you're worrying way more than you need to be, because I'm fucking nobody. I missed the Mercury Brothers versus the B-Bros, and I missed Alan Angels versus Kane Justice, though I did see Alan Angels today on Sub Grabs, and I was impressed. Saw Logan Stunt versus Sage Phillips, fun match, two light heavyweight guys, very talented. Saw Logan pick up the win. I've met Sage a couple times, and we've seen Sage wrestle as part of Hysteria in Black Label Pro. I'm drawing a blank on his partner's name right now.
Isn't it Cole Radrick?
Yes, Cole Radrick, thank you.
Yes.
So I saw them. They had a great match. And then Logan, and then the main event, one called Manders, Benjamin Carter, and Bobby Flacco. Kind of an interesting dynamic here. Manders just delivered. He picked up the victory, and Benjamin Carter also great, and just a great night for both teams, and I really enjoyed it.
And obviously, I haven't watched it yet, but I was so happy when I said to tell you, I said, just tell me, did he win? And yeah, Manders, our boy, obviously, anybody that's listening to this podcast knows we're both big fans of the Corn Belt Cowboy. One of the best dudes that you're ever going to find anywhere, and so proud for him for winning, and obviously proud of our guy Benjamin Carter.
Yeah, Benjamin Carter is just, and I will say this, I don't know if I told you this, so when they're presenting Manders with the, so Matt Griffin from Action Wrestling, who's one of the producers of Action Wrestling, presents Manders with the medal, and he goes, I hate to put you on the spot, but August 16th, if you're not doing anything, I'd like you to bring you in to Action Wrestling, Benjamin Carter, too, if you're not doing anything. So literally they got booked on a live mic in the middle of the ring for Action Wrestling, so I can't wait to see that on independentwrestling.tv.
Yeah, and obviously if you're listening to this and you've been to the last couple SCB Pro shows and got to see Benjamin Carter on his summer excursion here in the Iowa area, he has absolutely crushed it with Travis Titan and I'm blanking. Dante Leone.
Jesus, Regal.
I'm tired. It's been a long weekend.
It has been a long weekend.
But no, Benjamin Carter has absolutely just blown me out of the water the last couple of shows. As a matter of fact, when he took on Travis Titan, I said, I know he graduated. Where did he go? he goes, he's been wrestling in Tennessee because he goes to college down there. And I'm like, oh, okay. No, this is a kid. I've put him over to several of my friends down in that area and said, if he's on a show, if you see his name on a show,
go
get to the show and see this kid because he's gonna blow up. And I'm super happy that he made it to the finals as well and obviously great guy, works hard. I'm gonna break kayfabe that he is a very nice guy.
He was basically working baby in the tournament.
Yeah.
So.
I mean,
What?
If you've been an SCW pro, he's not been very much of a nice guy. But
Timothy Regal, alert! Timothy Regal has broken kayfabe. Alert! The kayfabe police. Alert!
Stop it. Stop it.
Somebody call the kayfabe crusader.
But no. Super proud for both those guys. You said you watched night 2, didn't you? We were gonna watch night. We should say this. We were gonna watch night 2. That was the plan, and I did watch the scramble match with our boy, the one called Manders.
Yep.
But we got distracted. Obviously, we were outside recording the Booze, Brawls, and Brave podcast, so didn't get a chance to see all of it.
I watched most of it this morning.
What stood out to you?
Alexander and Tony Deppen fucking killed it. AC Mack versus Marco Stunt I love because I really like AC Mack. Daniel Makabe and Slim J had a great match. O'Shea Edwards and Matt Tremont just fucking went all over the goddamn gymnasium.
Oh, God.
Yes. Jake Parnell and Kevin Q beat the shit out of each other. Yeah, so it was great. It was great.
This tournament is a lot of guys who, and honestly, a lot of guys who, and again, I'll put them over, independentwrestling.tv, without IWTV, I might not even seen some of these guys, who now I absolutely love. Guys like O'Shea Edwards. And,
I fucking love O'Shea Edwards.
And obviously, he's kind of a Midwest local, but the Warhorse Jake Parnell.
Yep.
Who, if you'd have told me years ago that the little guy from the Viking War Party, was gonna have this run, I'd have said, I think you're crazy. But obviously, guy who's put the work in, he's a guy that keeps himself. You were talking about shredded,
right?
Lynch
Mob and the Workhorsemen had a fun match.
That's an old school. I heard it was very old school Southern style brawl.
Yeah.
And obviously, Matt Lynch, I think's been retired for a couple of years, so this was his first.
He took all of the heat. He worked a lot of the match.
But he's been out of the ring for a while.
You couldn't tell.
Yeah.
I'll say that. I'll put him over there. Fun little trios. Brett Ison and B-Boy had a good fun match. B-Boy got the win there. Fun little trios match. Jaden Newman and the Carnies took on Bailey Blake, Billy Buck, and Luther X. Kind of a quick, kind of little throwaway kind of trios match.
That's called the Night 2, get these guys that have been here all week on the card match.
Right. Yeah. And then, obviously, the main event was Daniel Makabe defeating AC Mack, Jake Parnell, and O'Shea Edwards to become the winner of the Scenic City Invitational.
I'm kind of surprised by that. I had picked O'Shea, so...
I thought O'Shea would have been a great pick. But you know what? You listen to them talk about, last year's Scenic City or 2 years ago at Scenic City, and these guys, Dylan Hales and Matt Griffin and the people that work on this, they have their finger on the fucking pulse, dude.
Yeah.
They have their finger on the fucking pulse, and they deliver. They are always, look at the guys who won the Futures tournament last year. Marco Stunt. Fucking blew up. And they're talking about 2 years ago, they had, Joey Janela and Darby Allin. Blew up. All of the guys that have been a part of these Scenic City events are fucking getting over and blowing up.
They had Matt Riddle, I think 3 years ago, maybe the second SCI. The Scenic City Invitational is kind of a thing that started just originally to be kind of this thing to showcase the Southern independent wrestling scene.
Mm-hmm.
But now, because of independentwrestling.tv and because it's become this big thing, you're seeing people from all over the country flying to Chattanooga, traveling to Chattanooga for this tournament yearly. It's an event I would love to go to because
we're going next year.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's a great showcase, and we need more things like this. Obviously, you've got your Bola, you have your Lynham Memorial.
Yeah, look at last year. Nick Gage, Fred Yehai, Gary J.
But this is a tournament that really, I feel, how can I word this correctly? Spotlights independent wrestling.
Mance Warner, Kurt Stallion
spotlights people in independent wrestling that are on the way up, and gives them a platform to help elevate them, as opposed to your Bola or your Lynham Memorial, where those tournaments they bring in the best guys, the best of the best, which is great. But I like the fact that the Scenic City Invitational Weekends become this thing with the Futures tournament and even the guys in the tournament that allows this platform for people to be showcased that are still rising. And I think that's what makes that tournament so unique. And we weren't even done. You watched a show today. You watched another show today.
Yeah, I did.
I had to work.
I watched fucking
Southern
Underground Pro, Sub Crabs. All hell breaks loose, and literally.
And we've talked about Southern Underground Pro before. This is a company that's absolutely just. They run in Nashville. They run in front of a unique crowd. It's kind of the that alternative hipster. I don't want to say hipster's a negative term. I don't like using that term.
I don't think. Well, how is hipster a negative term?
I kind of think hipster's a negative term.
That's just because you don't like hipsters.
But it is. I'd say the Midwest equivalent to the Illinois Iowa equivalent to it is freelance.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, kind of similar vibe. The underground punk rock.
I honestly think Sup is a lot better than freelance, though.
I think they're pretty close on par.
But absolutely, all these guys' shows have been killing it. Obviously, the one called Manders a big part of this show.
Yes.
Wrestled multiple times from what I saw.
Wrestled 2 matches, yeah. Just all great matches on this show. I'll run through them quickly. Opened up with Daniel Makabe talking about Makabe.
Yeah, Daniel Makabe.
Daniel Makabe cut a promo basically saying he almost lost an ear the night before at the end of Scenic City, and he couldn't wrestle with risk of losing his ear, so he was taking the night off. And then Zachary Cooper came out and basically talked a bunch of shit and said it was his birthday and he wanted to wrestle. Dom Guarini came out accepting the challenge. And then match ends by referee decision. Dom gets the win. I legitimately think Cooper may have broken his arm. And that's why the match was stopped quickly. And after that, we had Jaden Newman picking up the win over the one called Manders. I tweeted that I thought it was a fast count, and Manders did too. Manders was furious. His first loss in the state of Tennessee.
Yeah.
Well, okay, no, his first time being pinned in Sup.
Yeah.
Put it that way. And possibly, I think his first time being pinned in the state of Tennessee. Because I think even when he has lost, he hasn't been pinned.
Yeah.
Next match saw Alan Angels take on Bradley Prescott IV, BP4, who is a name I see a lot on like WCWO shows, and I think has maybe worked for IWA Mid-South a handful of times. He does the Natty Ice gimmick or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you familiar with him?
I vaguely.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that I've ever seen him wrestle, but I've seen his picture a bunch of times. So Alan Angels picked up the victory there. Really great match. Cabana Man Dan picked up the victory over Marco's Stunt. And what they said was probably going to be Marco's last match in Basement East because Sup, I guess, is not running it again until October.
Yeah.
So that's when the contracts will take effect. And so Marco's last match in Sup. Then after that, after intermission, Manders comes out with a referee tied up in his bull rope. throws him in the ring and basically says he wants another match. He'll take on anybody. Dom Guarini comes out. They have a freaking hoss match, some no-selling German suplexes, and just absolute hoss shit. It was wonderful. Guarini picked up the victory. After that, a singles match. B-Boy took on Kevin Koo. B-Boy had Daniel Makabe in his corner, and Koo had Guarini, of course. Great match there. B-Boy picked up the victory. AC Mack came out to cut a promo before his match with Logan Stunt. Logan came out, and AC Mack was like, hey, I'm not done talking. Chair shot right to the head of Logan Stunt. Looked like the match wasn't going to happen. You're literally one of the more gruesome chair shots I've seen. And Logan Stunt's, what, 19, 20?
Yeah, I think 19 years old.
Yeah. And, AC Mack hits him right in the head with a chair. Freaking loud as hell. And so, and they're fighting over by, Mama Stunt, and AC Mack's just getting all kinds of heat. AC Mack picks up the victory there after Logan gives a hard-fought battle. Fun little match. Craig Mitchell and Alex Zane. I didn't pay as close of attention to this one as I did some of the others. Great match, though, with Craig Mitchell picking up the victory. Main event for the Bone Storm Championship. Fatal 4-Way. Brett Eisen retained his title against Anthony Henry, JD Drake, and O'Shea Edwards. Okay, I'm gonna put it out there. I like Brett Eisen fine. I think he needs to change his look because I think he looks like a discount Nick Gage. And if you're gonna, you know what I mean? If you're gonna, that's a pretty distinct look. I think he looks like a discount Nick Gage. So I don't know if he needs some kind of different gear, wear something different. I get, and obviously he's doing great for himself. So if this somehow gets back to him and he decides he doesn't want to take my advice, that's fine. Obviously he's gonna do what's working for him. I don't want to be like, I've got a handful of opinions, guys.
The thing with Brett Eisen is, regardless of look, Brett Eisen is so over with that Basement East crowd.
He really is.
They love him,
and they love him. They loved him in Chattanooga as well at Saudi. What was it?
Saudi Daisy High School.
Saudi Daisy High School, and fun match. Yeah, I'll support independent wrestling. I loved it. I thought it was great. Great commentary all weekend from Dylan Hale, Steve McCash, and other people. Just overall, a really good time. Great weekend, and I think next year we need to try to go.
I'm hoping so. I would love to. Obviously, we got some acquaintances, some friends that attend the tournament.
Did Cain Velasquez wrestle in a mask?
Yes, he did. I was a little surprised by that. But apparently Cain wanted to respect the tradition of lucha, so he wrestled in a lucha mask.
All right.
But no, I would love to make it down to Chattanooga and Saudi Daisy for the SCI because we've got some friends and definitely at a place like that I think we'd make some new friends.
Yeah, I do too.
And if you want to help us make new friends, help us spread the word about this podcast.
I guess, yeah. Sure.
You can follow Off the Chest at Off the Chest TR, but all you're going to get is new show announcements. We don't ever tweet from it. The best way to do it is...
I should have live tweeted SCI from the Off the Chest account this weekend.
I've done that. We've done that a few times.
We used to do that. Remember when we used to try?
Yeah. We used to put effort into this.
The funny thing is us not really trying is still more consistent than some other,
that is true.
Podcasts in the area.
We're still doing podcasts every single week, with the exception of the time Alex accidentally deleted it.
Yeah. Episode 129, I accidentally deleted it, so fuck me, I guess.
It's lost forever.
That was a good one, too. I don't remember what we talked about, but it was good.
Dude, Scarlett Bordeaux came, Hulk Hogan showed up.
What? I was being serious.
Honky Tonk Man was here.
You don't need to be sarcastic.
Virgil brought in meat sauce.
He was selling 8x10s. He's actually trying to sell 8x10s in my living room right now.
I mean, that wouldn't surprise me. I actually heard he's over at the fair.
Probably. Could you imagine? Virgil shows up at the fucking county fair selling 8x10s in the parking lot, like...
Virgil wrestling superstar Virgil just literally set up set up at a table in the middle of the midway.
God damn it. All right, are we done?
I think we're good.
SCW Pro this weekend.
Yes.
Friday night, Beer Stew. We are one. The Nexus is going to invade and tear down the ring. I mean, there will probably be some guys tearing down the ring, but it
won't be the Nexus.
It will be the up and coming Black and Brave Superstars.
I mean, I don't know. Ryback, Darren Young, a lot of those guys.
We have had a member of the Nexus on SCW Pro before.
A lot of those guys are looking for work these days.
Jesus Christ.
God damn it.
But yeah, no, I meant like our own version of the Nexus, the Black and Brave Nexus.
Yes. Hey, by the way, since we are one, if you come to the Beer Stew, you should prove that we are one by buying me alcohol.
I'm gonna be in Omaha.
Alex gonna be in Omaha, Nebraska.
Actually, Friday night. I'm gonna be in Council Bluffs.
I did hear that. You know what's really big in Omaha?
My penis.
Well, besides that, corn.
Wow. Yeah. Speaking of, yesterday, a great episode of a real podcast, Booze, Brawls, and Brave, another shitty wrestling podcast, dropped, and it was part 2 of the Corn Boy interview. Regal, have you listened to it yet?
I've listened to both parts.
Yeah, both parts.
And I will honestly say, that was a fascinating interview.
He's such an interesting thinker, too.
I did not expect what you guys got out of the Corn Boy.
Yeah.
Gave me a new look on
a new lease on life.
The elote.
Elote.
The man who eats the corn.
Yes.
But no, check those out, and obviously check out SCW this weekend.
It's Saturday at the Durant Firefighter Festival.
Free show
supporting the fine firefighters.
You know what time that show is? Because I'm not
12 noon. 12 noon at the skate park. After the parade. In Durant at the Firefighter Festival.
It's always a fun time. We've had wrestlers do flips off fences.
Honestly, I'm so bummed I'm missing it. It's one of my favorite. My favorite shows.
We had wrestlers play tic-tac-toe.
Yes.
We had guys climbing, having chicken fights on monkey bars. Yeah, it can be a fun time out at the Durant Firefighter Festival.
Yes.
There's a lot of stuff around.
Be there if you can.
Yeah, right at the skate park, inside the park. Be there right at high noon. Always a fun time.
You don't have to come high. Don't do drugs.
No,
I mean, some people probably.
It's at high noon. Noon.
There's only one noon, Regal.
You never watched any old Western movies where they say, gunfight at the OK Corral at high noon?
Sure, okay, but high noon, but there's only one noon.
Never mind.
Whatever.
People say high noon because noon is when the sun is highest in the sky.
Oh, be there at medium noon.
Oh, God.
3/4 noon.
Wait a minute. Did I know something you didn't know?
Shut up.
Folks.
I'll tell you what you don't know is when to shut up. Don't follow us on Twitter. We don't tweet.
No, you should follow us on Twitter.
Add Tim Dillon on Facebook. Send him requests to play games. Tag him in your sunglasses advertisements.
I hate you so much right now.
Tag him in your favorite books series. Alright.
Let's get out of here. I gotta go watch G1.
Alright, go take a bathroom.